Sometimes I think it is in fact the ignorance that people have, like the ignorance I would have coming to Wales, that would make that ignorant work very interesting. And it's just kind of where I am, where like the projects that I'm working on over the next couple of years are going to be projects that think most about collections and the archive and activating these archives, like the glass lantern slides, and really trying to do as much as I can to read myself into the archive, either by inserting things into the collection itself or by allowing the collection to come through my body in lecturing and in performance, so that whatever its real information content is, through me, it becomes something else. And so Wales through me is different Wales, you know. And Cardiff then becomes the kind of site by which I might understand myself as much as I might point to something that's about Cardiff. And sometimes the worst thing I could do as an artist is enter life thinking that it's going to turn into a next artwork. You know, yeah, so I moved to the block and I bought a house. It was just my house. The building next door came available a few years later, and it was just the building next door. Like, oh, maybe this could be my studio. And then I would have a house and a studio, and then my art world would be complete. Because what else does an artist need but a house and a studio? But then as we got into the space, it pretty quickly started to expand from a need for a studio to a need for that space to be something shared. And there was no name for that. It was just the need to share it. And then other houses came up and they were available, and it was like, well, what can we do with that? And so there's been this slow accumulation of spaces that then lead to the possibility of those spaces being programmed in interesting ways. And I feel like in some ways, I still don't know what the thing is of Dorchester, even though we can name it, we can try to frame it, art historians think they know what it is. It's like the fruit still isn't mature yet. And I think that there's a way in which there's so many different ways of imagining what maturity might look like, and gentrification ain't one of them. You know, or there might be a seed of a certain kind of reinvestment and class-based relocation. But that could be part of the good fruit of this tree, not necessarily something that dominates the tree. So in that way, I just feel like this work, it really needs to remain as quiet as it is loud, as organic as it is structured, as free and generous as it's always been. And in that way, the work, it never fulfills itself. It never is fully redeemed. It's always becoming, and that feels right. That I wish, in fact, it didn't have a name. I wish it wasn't a street. I wish people in a newspaper wouldn't point, but it's actually that form that is informing this imagined place. So in all these ways that feel complex, that's what makes it feel like, all right, maybe this is the middle of something that I would want to call art.